Facial warm-ups. Blah, blah. What was it they do in High School Musical? Blah, blah. Yeah.
Is it?
Brr, brr, bah, bah. Right, okay. So,
I
Shaun.
think that's your source of like.
Oh yeah, I take everything. Oh, yeah. Shaun, Katie, Shaun. God, I've just lost all my credibility as a movie buff there, haven't I? Then I take cues from because we watch horror films,
High School
and I
Musical.
don't jump and I don't cry, and I'm sort of hard case, and now everyone knows that my favourite films are High School Musical.
I don't care what anyone says. High School Musical is like amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna watch them next. Right, so this is Scream, and we're continuing our Scream thing because I'm desperate to watch the new one.
There's only two of the old ones left, and then the new one, isn't it?
So there's 3 and 4. We're not going to watch the series. We might watch the series later on, but that's nothing to do with the films, so we don't need to be bothered about that. Scream 3.
Okay.
In my opinion, better than Scream 2, but Scream 2 is rated higher. Really? IMDb is like a 6.7.
Oh, so it's not like a higher rating, it's just rated higher than the second one.
And then this one is about a 5. I think it's actually the worst rated out of all of the films, including the new one, which upsets me. But we're just going to watch it, and we'll see if you jump in this one.
I wasn't really that impressed with the second one.
Do you remember all the names of the characters?
Probably not. Is that Webb? Webb? Cobb? What's his name?
Cotton.
Cotton.
Webb and Cobb.
I don't know why I thought Webb was a name. Cotton. Well, there's Cindy.
Sydney. Not Cindy.
Sydney.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so this one, the opening is already different to the second one because it's a lot similar to the first one, in that there's an early call from the killer.
Yeah.
The second one, there wasn't that, was it? It just massacred 2 people.
Oh, it's her. Where do I know her from? Gossip Girl.
There's only one place that you're more vulnerable than when you're in the shower. Do you know what that place is? When you're in the toilet, when you're in the shower, you're very vulnerable. But there's only one place that you're more vulnerable. That's when you're on the toilet.
On the toilet?
Because that's when you're at your most relaxed. You especially, because you do sit on there for 3 or 4 hours. What?
You're so full of crap.
Yeah. Actually, a urinal. You're probably more vulnerable at a urinal. I'm genuinely afraid of urinals because someone could just walk up right behind me and pull my drawers down, and I wouldn't even know.
Stab games.
Yeah, he's got stab games. Bit queer, Liv Schreiber, isn't he?
He's not home, is he?
And the first jump of the video.
Yeah, see?
He slept as well. Oh!
She slipped. Shut the door! What are you doing?
He's done well for himself. Being a victim.
Okay, got a weapon, good.
Clever.
You always save and you find yourself a weapon.
Remember, in horror films, men are always smarter than the women. Gotta remember that. But they make up for it by always having there only be a woman survivor. It's always the last girl, it's not the last man. But the rest of the women in the film are idiots. Remember that.
Because there's only ever room for one smart woman.
Exactly. Too many smart women and the movie's ruined. Everyone knows that.
Oh, he's just opened the door and he's going to come in and stab her, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah.
It's all falling apart.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Scream. What?
Just the idea of being stabbed.
He stabbed that poor lass in the back and he didn't make as much noise as getting slashed on the arm.
I know, but you didn't see it. Like you saw that.
Oh, look, she's got a dog.
No. If anything happens to that dog, I swear.
Hello, Neve Campbell. Good to see you again.
She has a beware of dog sign.
Yeah, she's trained the dog to be a lethal protective machine.
Smart, however, I feel like that fence isn't high enough for that kind of security measure.
As far as security goes, it's absolutely impossible to climb over that fence, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it might be like a, it might be like a pressure alarm or something like that. So like if someone was to lean on it or put their weight on it, but even then,
it's not a very high fence.
no, you could probably jump over it without touching it. Well, I couldn't.
You just get like a chair and just jump over it. Smart.
Mm-hmm. There's no one breaking in on her. Imagine you got accused of being a murderer, and you think, here's a good idea. I think I'll go in a film as myself, get a bit more fame. Not the smartest of ideas, is it? Mm-hmm.
As if they're making a Stab 3 already.
Songs in every film. Any theories?
No.
No? Hey. Look, it's... It's Jay and Silent Bob. You don't know who they are. Was the fog the only thing you noticed there?
I saw there was a person. I didn't realise it was a man though. Is that her fence? So she has all that security, but yet you can just open that fence.
Ugh. Creepy, innit?
Oh, I don't like that sound.
Yeah. So it's one of the things that this particular film was criticised for. Like, why does there need to be ghosts? Wasn't real.
Okay.
Dream.
But was that a real fence she came through?
So
Because again...
The dog's okay though. Look, the dog's okay. It's scared, but it's okay.
Because again, if that is a real fence, what would be the point?
Yeah.
Unless it's a fence instead of a fence.
So...
Is she in like the prop room or something?
Oh, dressing room.
She got me there. Oh, of course.
I mean, you need this many Ghostface costumes. Can't people just look
Where
after
is he going to conveniently be in amongst all the ghost costumes?
She's ringing the studio security instead of the police. This is the really smart lady who didn't like her part because her part was an idiot.
Always turn off all the lights. Typical. Is he going to lock the door?
Yep.
Yep. Bless.
Proper room. This would actually be really awful, really, wouldn't it?
Oh, there you go.
'Cause it's like...
It would be scary, yeah.
Try and defend yourself, but you can't. You know, she didn't get it that bad. One stab in the back.
Smart.
Yeah.
Good for her.
There's definite, like, There's a good character arc for Neve Campbell. She gets smarter. The characters don't always get smarter in these types of films, but she does. Good for you, Neve Campbell.
The copper, whatever his name is, because he's quite famous, isn't he?
Quite a famous actor, yep. Actually, there's quite a lot of them. They're quite famous actors.
And potentially the director.
Roman.
Because in the first one it was like the obvious one.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't it, but then it was. If we're going off the first movie.
I think 1 killer, 2 killers, 3 killers, 4, 5 killers, 6 killers, 7 killers more.
Stop.
I don't even think there's 7 characters.
Oh.
Oh. Shouldn't have messed with Patrick Warburton. Oh well.
I mean, good for him for still fighting with a knife in his back.
Yeah. Did you jump there as well?
Yeah.
You've jumped every time the killer's revealed himself.
You have quite good jump scares, like.
Better than the second one. But remember, we're only like halfway into the film. This bit's a bit convoluted.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's like a Bruce Willis movie.
Oh my god.
Say that would be me. It would be like the Family Guy gag. I would have to sit up and go.
He had Dewey's phone. It's him. He had Dewey's phone.
Indeed he did.
It's him.
You think it's the attractive guy with the good hair? You think it's him?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's him.
Does have a good movie knowledge.
She's a bit weird.
She is a bit weird, isn't she? So I like this bit in this film. It's one of I like this bit. Something is about to happen.
Angelina.
I'm not trying to spoil it for you, but something in this film is about to happen. There's about to be an event.
Okay.
People might get angry at that, but remember, folks, in films, oftentimes things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, is this like a recreation?
It's a
Being
house.
sucked into the past.
It's her house. I don't remember because it had the 3 million windows and like 7 doors.
In so many different ways that you could get into the house.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That house that she's standing in, that standing on the outside of, that was Stu's house. If just in case you didn't notice, that's where the resolution was in the first film. Imagine how traumatic that would be as a person. You're in this what you assume to be a loving relationship, and that person turns out to be a psycho who's murdered.
They murdered your mother and then is trying to murder you.
How many people?
Not most of your friends.
How many people did he kill? Did they kill 6, 7, 8 people? Weird.
But she's got a pepper spray, so it's fine.
Would pepper spray work if the person is wearing a mask? I don't know, because I've never experienced pepper spray.
Smart. But is that person, is it under our bed or something?
Maybe.
Or coming through the window? Yep.
You've been doing that a lot in this series, where you call us and then you still jump.
Because it's still creepy. Good
See,
for her.
she's not bloody scared to fight it now. She's still going to run away because he's got a knife. Go back in the house.
What?
Yeah, so it's one of the. She did that in the first film. Yeah, so there's. Remember when Randy said that the killer's superhuman? He is very superhuman in this film. Yeah! You couldn't maybe have missed the bed? He's the guy in... He's the copper, right? That when Arnie's like killing the entire police station and there's no one left, he basically goes, I'm gonna kill this guy. Hey! And he gets both guns. God, it was very
in our face.
It was very my life. It's a smouldering cop.
Yeah.
Oh no! Stick together, folks.
So it is the old guy. Or is it not the old guy?
You think it's the guy from Terminator? Remember, he fought Stone. Fought Patrick Warburton. And he fought Liev Schreiber.
Okay, come on. We gotta get out of here. Where's Angelina? I don't know. She went in here, I came in after, now she's gone. Great. What's wrong? Looks like Stab 3's back in production.
It's time for the final act. What?
I'm trying to figure out.
You had the face of someone who was pondering there.
Because I am.
You're pondering the big questions.
Is it something like the old man raped Sydney's mum, and so it's his child, and Sydney's mum's child, and Sydney's
Never said that it was him.
He never said it was him, but it could be him.
Never said how many people. Either. I remember these are horrible sort of these are like the sort of Harvey Weinsteins.
Yeah.
Not very nice people. People who deserve to be shot. creepy. Innit? That's why it's called Scream.
Dale, Jennifer, up here.
Julie, here. You got Roman and Angelina too. We'll be safe if we stick together, won't we?
Of course. Why?
You didn't get stabbed that time.
Oh shit!
Come on.
Good for him. He fought back.
Good for you.
Jump and slash. That's why it's called Scream.
Where did he go though? She literally just stabbed her.
And you would think if there was like an exit on the other side,
They would have seen it.
she would have just kept running. Although actually I suppose that was probably her only chance to get found by Dewey and Gale, so. Dewey just... Maybe, you know, he hasn't got...
Good for her. There must be. I mean, obviously, there's more than one killer. Surely, right?
I think. Why? Because he keeps teleporting everywhere.
Yeah, surely there has to be more than one killer.
Yeah.
So he's there with her, so there must be another one.
I can't believe he didn't hear her fighting. Good for her though. She bloody fought back. Good for a few of them actually, because a few of them fought back. Tyson fought back. Good for him. He could have just done a runner.
How do I know that this is you, Gale, not the killer? Don't you think that's what the killer would say?
He's not wrong.
He's not.
To be fair.
I feel like this would be you and me.
This would, yeah, yeah. You know, at least he didn't get stabbed a bunch this time. Dramatic pause.
While they're just eating pizza. Come on.
Yeah, and where is Kincaid? Said he was
He
going
left
back.
to go check the studios.
Said he was going to the studio. Dave Campbell's attractive.
Pretty sure I've said that in every movie.
What?
What? I've read the only person I have in mind is the police officer. But everyone else is dead.
Yeah. True.
Oh, the other police officer is partner, but he's there with her.
Yep. Oh dear. It's time for the third act. For the finish. He does have a really...
Shook him for a gun.
The killer does have a really creepy voice. It's worrying that people just leave
Their guns.
guns strewn around, isn't it?
I mean, it's a police office. I'm sure no one would be back there under normal circumstances.
Raiding his drawers.
Oh, there he is.
Oh no! Come on, Dewey, get out of it!
Think again. It's your turn to scream, asshole.
Okay, smart. Should have a second gun. Smart. He
But
was
remember what Randy said.
overpowered.
Superhuman.
But superhuman, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When she ripped that tape off Dewey's mouth, how didn't they just take the mustache with it? That's the question.
Is it going to be like he's the police officer, so he has like a bulletproof vest, and that's how he survived the bullets?
Maybe.
Yep, convenient. That's what he wants. Or is this another one of those things where she doesn't trust him and he ends up dying because she doesn't trust him?
Look, he's bloody doing it. He's fighting back, the sausage. Wake up! The good-looking cop is going to get skewered! Wrong hole.
You want me, motherfucker? Come and get me.
Audrey! I would feel the need there to stop, turn around and go, RJ, I never would have thought of that, thank you, Dewey. You just sit and relax.
I don't think he's particularly relaxing, tied up to a chair, but okay.
I was like, oh, run. It's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm just going to stand here and let him kill me.
Secret passage.
I didn't work out very well for the last class.
Book. Move a book. It's always a book.
You were the only child she claimed, Sydney. She shut me out in that cold.
Yeah, so she does have another sibling.
From the Bridger director. Brother.
So there's a general rule with these. If you don't see them die on screen, they're not dead.
Good idea.
Yeah, but she was there though. The lass was there.
Yeah, but you never saw them die on screen, did you?
Excuse Maureen. She really got around. Introducing Sydney the victim. Sydney the survivor. Sydney the star.
Yeah, it's generally not liked. The fact that he seems to be is teleporting everywhere.
Alright, you're gonna be alright. Just apply pressure. Get this son of a bitch.
And you didn't trust him. Puh.
There's still time.
You know what happens now? The villain dies.
Exactly. But I'm not the villain.
Jeez.
But he's swinging the fences. Come on. Touch him, he fights back. This, for everyone who doesn't know our family very well, this is how me and Nicole used to fight. Except it would be the other way around. This would be Nicole laying into me. Actually, I suppose he is the older sibling. Yeah, what he's doing here is what Nicole used to do to me.
Oh, there he is.
Nearly. It was nearly the hero.
Hey. Lose something?
Found something.
Damn.
Jeez. I'm sorry, right? She literally found the book straight away. Why couldn't she moved all the other books out the way?
Yeah. So from behind the door that you can't get through for some reason. You think he's the only one who's allowed to be superhuman?
Jeez.
I shot you.
Yeah. That's why you always go for the head.
I guess we think alike.
Mother's dead. There's nothing you can do about that. I still got to make my movie.
Step 3, right?
I mean,
Doesn't he still have a bulletproof vest on?
I don't know how thick a bulletproof vest is though.
I mean, it can stop a bullet.
True. Hang in there. He had it worse than all of them. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Shot a lot of bullets there. I don't know how guns work. My understanding was that it was always about 7 bullets, 8, something like that. Tell me how guns work, people who know about guns. I don't think 13 bullets is how many that's usually.
We've done that twice now. I don't.
What?
That's the third time they've done one of those. I just don't.
What, where they jump up and do the...
The first one was, I was kind of like, yeah, okay. Because it was funny and it was kind of like, yeah.
But it wasn't even necessarily like that, or was it? He just went, "Ugh," and got shot.
Yeah,
And that
he
was
had
it.
a knife in his chest.
I don't like how it, despite him being told about the rules, he didn't think to shoot the guy in the head. Ah, look, the dog made it.
I'm glad.
I bet he's called Buddy or something like that.
You think you do.
Nothing says romance like shared trauma.
You're a brave man. Do we run like...
I'm really scared right now.
Oh, he's vulnerable. Hey, happy ending! Yay.
I mean, she never said yes. Okay, now she said yes.
Got nothing on Friends, Scream 3. She had a much better proposal in Friends.
Oh, and the gates are wide open.
Yeah, she doesn't need an alarm. Look at the little dog. Look at the little kid. He's the real MVP in this film. The dog.
See it. We've been waiting for you. We're gonna start a movie.
Yeah.
What kind of movie?
You have to come and see.
And we've got news. Yeah, you'd think they would say that, but no.
Dun, dun, dun. She's gonna leave the door open.
She doesn't need to close anymore.
I mean, yeah, there's, not a psycho killer after anymore, but there's still robbers and,
still robbers.
there's still, some...
Undesirables in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still want to be safe.
Yeah. So the thing is with Scream 3, right? The original, I think it went through 2 rewrites. It had the one I was telling you about where it was supposed to be like a sort of little army of ghost faces who were like all after her, because
They're kind of obsessed with her.
yeah. Then there was a rewrite, and it basically was Angelina and Roman. It was 2 killers.
Angelina.
She was
that
the lass who was
yeah.
playing her.
Playing her, yeah.
Yeah, the
Well,
one
I
who.
felt-
Because
yeah.
when I said you don't see them die on screen, you saw her get dragged off screen, didn't you? So like the original plan was for her to be the other killer.
Well, I could see that as well because she the thing with the bathroom where she had the ghost face mask, and
Yeah.
she was kind of seemed like she was a bit obsessed with her, so I could see that.
Yeah.
But
So there was, and then the last rewrite basically made it that. But they sort of filmed scenes prepping for there to be two killers, which is why things like the house where she was in the remade house and she's running around and the killer's after her, but then she goes into the room and there's the covered version of her mum who's like got all the blood and stuff on her. Like that would make sense if there was two killers.
I mean, that's why at one point I thought, geez, like how many killers are there? Because they just seem to be popping up everywhere.
Yeah, like she got pulled out of the window, landed, fought him a little bit, ran back in the house, and then he was behind her again. And it was like, you can understand how there's two killers. Like if that was two killers, you can understand it. With it being one killer, that's why the third film got dumped on a little bit, is because if there's only one killer, then he's just teleporting everywhere.
Yeah. I think plot wise, I didn't mind it. The whole about a mum and stuff, and like how like more about like the past and like how that's affected everything.
Yeah.
But it also kind of was just a bit like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because like in the first one, obviously there was no mention. You'd think like they would mention that, you know, oh, there's someone else, or even just like a little hint. Obviously they probably didn't expect to go this far with it, but
yeah. So there's quite a lot of theories about these films that are really, really interesting. One of them is that Roman is in the first movie. He's
Right.
involved way back in the first movie, because you know how there's a few things where like when she's with Tatum, you sort of see Ghostface in the woods. You see him like you see him in like the supermarket. You see like a bit where there's like mirrors or something, and you see him somewhere else. There's a theory that that's him, because Billy's somewhere else in the next scene, and so is Stu. Oh no, because they're both at the video store with Randy. So
people are like, oh, that's.
But then if that was the case, why would he be in the ghost face costume? Because she wouldn't know who he is at this point. Most of them wouldn't know who he is at this point, so he wouldn't need a disguise.
Yeah.
Especially not in the middle of like broad daylight where
People would be able to see.
Yeah. It's also a theory that Dewey was involved. There's actually a theory that Dewey's like the secret overlord of everything because he's obsessed with Sydney.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't bad. At points I was kind of just like, oh.
Yeah. Like there's like the bit with the house. You know the bit where where the guy got blown up in the house. Like that would have made sense if there was two killers.
Yeah.
And it did sort of set it up with Angelina being a second killer.
That's what I mean, because there was loads of... Obviously, they did the thing where it was like, we don't know who the killer is. I thought it would have been the copper.
Yeah.
Because
the copper was the obvious one, wasn't
he kind of seemed like he was obsessed with her.
Yeah.
But then I didn't expect it to be Roman, because he didn't really ever seem... Aside from the fact he said he wanted to make the movie, he didn't really seem like he was that obsessed with her.
I think...
So I feel like that kind of didn't really... But Angelina was I felt like was the one I was leaning more towards.
Yeah.
Because obviously she was in the bathroom, and then she, seemed obsessed with her. Plus then she went in the same place that Sydney went through, and they never really addressed that. She kind of just walked through there and then was getting questioned by police. So
it almost seems like it learned from the second film a little bit though, because in the second film how there's a marked point where you don't see Mickey anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to know that it's Mickey. I think you definitely said when he revealed himself, you said, well, where has he been for the last half an hour? So
most of the movie.
Yeah, like looking at it from like objective, you can see when it becomes obvious that it's Mickey. With this one, they had that scene where they go and sort of see Milton, and he tells them about how the parties and stuff, and you see Roman there talking, and he's saying about how he's being called a prior, and he doesn't know what a prior is. It's like he doesn't need to be in that scene. Like he doesn't need to be in that scene at all, but they put him in basically to go, remember, Roman is a character. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the bit later on where you see him.
That's the thing. I feel like you can obviously tell that they had there was other plans, because it just didn't... Why would they go through that effort to set Angelina up as like the suspicious one if... She was probably the most suspicious out of all of them.
Apart from the copper.
Apart from the... Well, I think that was mainly just me.
No, that's definitely in there for that reason.
He was kind of...
I think it's put in there basically to go, like a similar thing to Billy. Like you can't suspect. Yeah, you can't suspect the good-looking guy. Of course, it's not the good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He can't be a psycho murderer. But for that exact reason, you sit there and go, It's going to be him, isn't it? He's going to be the psycho. He's too good looking to not be a
It
psycho
wasn't
murderer.
bad. It definitely got me a lot more than the second one did. The second one, I felt like I spent most of it just going, what am I watching?
Yeah. So rankings.
The first one's the best one.
Yeah.
Third one, and then second one's
That's the same as
one.
mine. Yeah. Yeah. I was just watching the third film. We're just going to watch all of them, and then we'll move on to the next franchise. And then what we're going to do once we've cleaned the slate with this franchise, you're going to pick a franchise that we're going to watch. I'm going to pick a franchise that we're going to watch. I'm going to watch them every other week.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll watch my franchise one week, then your franchise the other week, and my franchise next week.
I'm excited.
I'm not. Yeah. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when we upload. We upload every weekday. Anything else you want to say?
I hope the fourth one's better.
It is.
It is. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it significantly better, or is it just categorically better
It's definitely, it's much better.
than the third and second one?
Yeah.
Second and third one.
Yeah.
But is it okay?
Yeah. It's not as good as
Not
none
as
of.
good as the first.
Well, I haven't seen the fifth one, but none of the following three films are as good as the first one. The first one is definitely the best one.
Okay.
I think Wes Craven directs it, so it's still old school. Wes Craven. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Oh look, The Marine 4, Moving Target, starring Mike the Miz Mizanin and Danielle Monet. Maybe we'll watch The Marines.
Don't even.
I need to know.